after a major debacle last time out. We're hoping to be much more better here, and we are in the sweaty kingdom of Bahrain. I don't know if that's sweaty, at least it is. Round 2 of the Formula Waga 2019 Championship, live here on YouTube. So 29 laps, round 14 laps of this very picturesque circuit, it has to be said. And 2018, as you can see from the podium there, has been absolutely brilliant last time out. And we're hoping that'll be pretty much the same as it goes on for, well, basically this race. My name's Squire. I'll be taking you through the broadcast today, and alongside me once again is Thomas Roberts. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, everybody.
So as you can see, different car for Ernest Lappins. He's moved out of the NRWO following his misdemeanors over the last race, but though we are hoping that it goes well for the NRWO. Well, they're not, because none of them has turned up for this race because Maxime Crusette is busy, and the new driver Brad Westgarth unfortunately has steering issues, so none of them will be attending today. But though yeah, and it's actually okay. It's actually okay. I'm not that unhappy about it, but still, we have got more people in than there needs to be said for the last race, because we've got more people coming in and more different skins as well. But there are some skins that need to be still put on. For example, the Bottle Job racing team with Richard Taylor and Jeffrey Backer. He's not in the race this weekend because, as I last seen, he was actually he was in the server but not actually in the car. His teammate Richard Taylor is out on track, as you can see, with no skin. He's just got the default FW 2019 skin. And the other team that needs to be having a skin on is Nova Racing. Bas Kessel is here. He's currently where is he? 14th right now at the moment. Pretty average performance, but though we could see a little bit of a surprise here. I'm not too sure. And yeah, so what do you think is going to happen here then, Tom?
I think we should keep an eye out for turn 10 and the differing lines there, as that is probably one of the biggest corners on the track where you'll be able to tell driving style. Some drivers will prefer to keep it quite tight on the apex and sacrifice their run, as it's the downhill section. Others will like to keep right and keep as much speed through the apex. Others might go for a more middle of the road approach and try and keep the car straight so that they don't lock up.
Yeah. Now, for those of you who have not watched the 2018 event, it was Robert Dukic's second race, and he nearly had another victory again. But though it wasn't that meant to be, and he only lost out on a victory by Lawrence Doherty by a mere few hundredths of a second. They were nearly, literally neck and neck on the line. It was that close. I was leaning back in my chair as everyone just went past, just exhausted from that, just thinking, what an event. Could we see another like that this weekend? We're not too sure. We're about to get to qualifying in a few seconds' time, and hopefully we'll have warm-up sorted, because the last time out, the warm-up didn't really go to plan because we switched to the race, and unfortunately that really ruined the race for most of us. And we've also been told that there is no refueling in qualifying. You can only set up to a car to have a certain amount of fuel, but that's your lot. You can refuel in a race, but that's the only time you can refuel the car. So that's going to put a little bit of a spanner in the works. So we're just hoping it's a little bit different out this time round. And as you can see, Max Shepherd, the last season's champion, at the top of the timesheet, in contrast to what happened last weekend, because last weekend he exclaimed it as one of the worst races he's driven of all time with this car, because it's so uncontrollable so far for the corners, and it's just not really went to plan for him. So hopefully he's got a little bit more practice, and by the looks of it he has. Second place is Matthew Clipp, who has done well in the last race.
Eric Lappins seems to be quick, like he was in Australia. He seems pretty happy. Obviously, his driving style must suit these new cars more than others.
Yeah, we seem to be getting issues of people not receiving the rates for a bit. Like, and this is an issue that we had for the last race as well. And we were trying our best to try and figure out what the problem is, but we just can't really get around to it. So I do apologise if it's like that for you. But though, nevertheless, we're hoping to get to qualifying in a bit, and hopefully it'll be a good shout out. So, looking at what happened in the last race, who do you think is going to take pole position again?
Matt Shepherd just seems to have such a big time difference to him and the rest of the field, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's that. However, anything can happen because watching the practice, these cars are not riding the bumps on this track very well at all. I don't know whether people are going aggressive on ride heights or whether it's a characteristic of this car, but they seem to be really on edge when they go over bumps.
Yeah, and yeah, as you can see, case in point with Jake Danahan just going through, I think that was turn 8, I think, just
Turn 10? That's what I was saying about the differing lines. You just saw him go much wider.
Yeah.
And try and cut back.
Yeah, I think the man who's going to take pole position in this race, I think, might be, and this is an outside bet, it's going to be Jeff Closer.
Whoa! Jake Danahan.
Oh, God. Jeff Closer doesn't look like to have that much of a pace going into this practice right now. But though, when it comes to qualifying, I think he may have that blistering pace. I'm not too sure. As you can see, Jake Danahan warming up his tyres pretty aggressively, just going down the back straight. But though,
I think they're warm enough from his spins, to be honest.
Oh yes, they're definitely warming up from his spins, just spinning out. Careful, I tell you! Careful, I tell you! Yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to be good for us in practice right now, and we're just about to get to qualifying in a bit. Just yeah, I think we're about to get to qualifying in a second now.
Well, something's happened, so.
Oh wait, yeah, we are getting to qualifying. It's like I said, 15 minutes, and you can put as much amount of fuel in, but after you've done your first lap, that is it. That's your fuel for the rest of the qualifying session. You can't refuel.
So obviously that rule changing from last week, whether it's just a clarification or an actual change, is a differing matter.
You see which one is going to be coming out first.
Someone's waiting at the end of the pits.
Need to figure out who it is. It's Ernest Lappins. And he was waiting at the end of the pit lane first for the NRWO last time out, and he gained pole position from it.
He must seem to like the track when it's a bit more green then, which is very odd.
Yeah.
He likes the car to be a bit loose, even if it's theoretically slower.
Yeah. Nevertheless, the first...
Killers coming out in formation.
Both the Vronic Sim Sports, in fairness, here we go. It's Ernest Lappins, and who was it? The other Vronic? It's Jake Danahan. As the Philip Cross, I think, is the last one to come out of the pits, unless I'm very much mistaken. No, Jeff Close is still in there. So is Justin Meister and Jacob Reed. Ruben van der Hending.
Say about a third of the grid's in there.
Yeah, a third of the grid is actually in the pit lane at the moment of time.
Is it just me or has someone got a broken livery?
Which car? Which car are you looking at?
Craig Patterson.
Hmm?
Craig Patterson.
Craig
Royal Blue.
Craig Patterson. No, he hasn't got really a broken livery. He seems all right for me.
There we go. It's just a block with temp on for me.
Yeah.
Oh well, doesn't matter.
So we're now on board with Ernest Lappins. Going to do the first lap of the Bahrain Grand Prix qualifying, and could anyone actually top him off this time round? Because when he only sets one qualifying lap, all session back in Australia, and it was the fastest one out of all. Could it be topped here in Bahrain? Because everyone now has pretty much learned the car and they're hoping to get something out of it. Ernest just clipping the apex and not spinning at all. That's pretty insane for a bit. Go down into turn 4. Not clipping the apex.
Small lock up on the entry, so you miss the apex.
Yeah. But he didn't miss that apex then. As it goes downhill into turn 8. Misses a bit, but I think he'll be able to carry on the speed from that.
Keep an eye on his line. What does he do? He decides to take the apex. Turn 9 into turn 10.
He just missed it, but he's got more amount of speed just coming out of it, so it looks like it's going to be on for a good lap. Turn 11. No clipping the apex again. As all.
Someone spun on the apex.
I think that was. Oh yeah, that was Jacob Reed, hoping to do the deed for the NRWO. Well done, Jacob, for trying to do that. I'm not salty at all. Anyway, going into the last couple of corners, turn 13 and 14.
It's the apex.
He's
loses the rear end.
He's messed up a bit. He's messed up a bit. So he's most likely to go for another qualifying lap. He sets the pace with a 1 minute 32.2 seconds. The Max Shepherd is just coming along now. Can he take him off the spot? No, he can't. He only is slower by. Burkhoist, pole position with 1 minute 31.6. Burkhoist for Reed Sim Racing is on pole position.
Oh, someone dropped it, turn 1. What was that? It was Jake Dunahan.
Jake Dunahan for Frolic. So right now, only a few minutes in, and Wesley Burkhoist is the man to beat on pole position with a 1 minute 31.6. Here comes Dionysius Faros just going through the last couple of corners. Clips the apex and spins. Oh God!
And setting the time.
And that is not.
And then this is going to be pole.
And that is not going to be a.
E3.
That's not going to be a good session for the Greek at all. Who else is on a pole lap? Ruben van der Hedding is on a fast one. He's just going down the pit lane now. And no, he's not going to take top spot. No, he's only third with a 1 minute 32.9.
Morale's still on the exit of turn 14, leaving a yellow flag.
But here comes Matthew Clip. He's on a little bit of a fast one as well. Could he do it? No, I don't think so.
P3.
P3 for Matthew Clip. 1 minute 32.4. Oh wait a minute, just did a blinder. 1 minute 32.3. Only just a tenth away from Lappins.
Oh, Van Hooden losing it on the exit of turn 8.
That's going to lose his time a little bit. Going down into turn 10. And nearly lost it just coming out of turn 10. And oh dear.
The car does not seem to like the rear end at all.
No, he doesn't at all. Only 1/10 off of his personal best, it's only 9/10 off the pole. This is not going to be good at all for Ruben van der Hedding.
It's a good exit out of here.
Oh no, no, he's locked up hugely there.
Gone.
This is not good at all for drillers.
Take him in the pits.
Tom Watson is in third with a 1 minute. I just missed the time then. I just missed the time. Oh.
1 minute 32.251.
Thank you. Ben Smith, only a couple of hundreds off his main time, but only 1 second off the pole. Could he improve through this last couple of corners here? Remember, Ben Smith is one of those people we need to keep an eye on because through pre-season he's been absolutely superb. Can he improve here today? Ben Smith coming across the line, and no, he doesn't improve on his position.
600ths off his personal best.
Yeah. Jeff close to 10th position. Yeah.
Jacob Reed's lost it.
Jacob
turn 3.
Oh God, this is not going well at all. Josh Blankensport for Iris, 12th position still. Richard Taylor, 14th, and is spun at turn 1, locking up hugely going into entry there. That is not good at all for Bottle Job Racing.
It was Craig Patterson.
Craig Patterson.
Just starting his lap.
Just started.
It looks like we have Matt Shepherd, who improves into P6, 2/10 up on his personal best.
Yep, the only men that haven't done their lap so far is Philip Kraus. Yes, Bas Kessel, who's on his flying lap, and Dionysus Faros, who's about to start his lap now. And I just need to remind you, with 8 minutes to go left in the session, on pole position is Wesley Burkhoist. Second is Ernest Lappins. Third is Tom Rogerson. Fourth is Justin Meister. Fifth is Clip. Sixth, Shepherd. Seventh, Van den Hudding. Eighth is Smith. Ninth is Reichel. And 10th is Jeff Closer.
So we have Bas Kessel just coming through turn 11 now. Keeps it left and misses the curb. Going for the fast right-hander of turn 13 now.
Only just about 2 seconds off the pole. So he could
put him around about P10.
P10 to P12 is going to be his fastest time. Unless he pulls an absolute blinder, which he looks like he has at the moment, but we're not too sure. Here comes Bas Kessel, does it 11th. 1 minute 34.1 does Bas Kessel for Nova.
Reed's improving, he's a 10th up on his personal best from sector 1.
But only 6/10 off the pole. Locks a little bit then through turn 8, and it's lost it a little bit coming out of it, but keeps control of it going down into turn 10. This is where he needs to keep an eye on, and he's locked up a little bit.
It's okay, you can miss the apex of turn 10 if you carry the speed around, and it looks like you did.
Indeed, and here it comes into turn 11. Clips the apex, but keeps it under control, as you do through here. Jacob Reed is actually vastly improved on his time. Only 6/10 faster through the second sector, but only 1.6 seconds slower. So it's 1.4 seconds slower off the pole. So he could be around 9th place, as I see. Could be around 9th place. So let's see, gets into 10th. 9th or 10th will do for him. Jacob Reed is 14th.
He had a really bad turn 13, it looks like.
Oh God. Let's see, what's that?
Craig Patterson's 4/10 up, only 3/10 off pole from sector 1.
This is going to be a blinder for Craig Patterson now. This could be the chance to get into second place on the grid and knock Ernst Lappins from the front row, hopefully, for Royal Blue. Here comes Craig Patterson. He may a little bit off the exit there. He's second.
Done it.
Craig Patterson is in second position. Only Burkhoist just ahead of him by 5/10. And that is a good session so far for Patterson.
Oh, someone's dropped it turn 2. Who's that?
That's Patterson.
Patterson.
And Van Hudding's back on. Ruben Van Hudding is in second. Only by a mere 10th of a second ahead of Patterson.
Doesn't matter if it's 1,000th, he's ahead.
Yep, he's ahead. Van Hudding is getting Jones back on the top mark right now.
Jeff Close looks like he's on the lap.
And that doesn't look good. No, he's not really doing his lap.
No, Matt Shepherd behind us though. He's 4/10 off, half a second off pole. This will put him P. So probably put him P2.
I think. Max Shepard, you say?
Yeah.
Here
Through the final couple corners.
Here he comes, Max Shepard. Just keeping it on edge. Remember last time out he was having one of the worst race weekends of his life, and here he comes. He's only in 7th place.
It's a really bad final sector then.
It's not going well for the former world champion, and that's just got worse. He's just spun off at turn 1. Let's see who else is on there flying lap at the top. Craig Patterson's still out there. Vader Hudding is coming out, or is he coming in? He's coming in. Only 2 minutes and a half left in this session, and Kraus 16th place. The world champion is struggling in these cars.
Big lock up into turn 1, about a mile off the apex. And really loose on the exit of turn 2 as well. Getting down into turn 4, does he lock up? No, hits the apex, nice. Comes in as wide as he dares without hitting that curb, because that curb can bite you. It's 3/10 up on his personal best though, 6/10 off pole.
And Patterson just loses it at turn 1. Sorry, turn 2. No, not turn 2, the last corner on the grid. But though, looks like he's not going to go for a final run because under 2 minutes left, and looks like maybe his qualifying session over.
The car's just coming to the sector 2 split.
Let's see who else is on.
He's lost half a second in sector 2.
And Max Shepard has spun out. He's not going to complete another lap. But,
so is Jos blank score.
Yeah, but there's another man who can actually do his lap right now, and that is Matthew Clipp. He's going on a fast one right now, only 3/10 off the pole. Here comes Matthew Clipp. He's only 8th place at the moment. Can he improve on his time? Less than a minute to go, so he can do another lap. If this one doesn't go to plan, and it does. 4th place for Matthew Clipp. Only 6/10 off the pole, but now here he comes to, and hopefully does his final lap. Anyone else out there? No. I see what.
Ferrell's 3/10 down on his personal best, so count him out.
Yeah.
Jacob Reed, Bass Kessel is going for turn 11.
Let's see what Bass Kessel does. He's only only 2/10 up, but 1.2 down from the pole.
So this will put him.
He may stay in 14th place here. If not, he may push a little bit more. That way he'll get 13th place, but Farros is still out on track. The qualifying session is
P11.
Qualifying session is over. Bass Kessel P11 for Bass Kessel. Where is closer? Where's Farros? 14th place at the moment, but where is it Patterson? There is Clip still up there.
2/10 down on his personal best, and he's had quite a bad lock up into turn. Oh, now he's backed off.
And Kraus is not going to do another one, and the yellow flag's gone out somewhere. I'm not too sure where.
On the start-finish straight, there's a wheel bouncing around the track. It's I don't know because it's disappeared. Looks like Max Rachel.
I think no, it's Matthew Clipp. He hasn't done another lap, which means that Wesley Burkhoist is in pole position for the race. Van Hunding is second, Patterson third, Clip fourth, Lappin's fifth, Rogers is sixth, 7th is Meister, 8th is Shepard, close 9th, and Ben Smith is in 10th position. So would you want
to Balcow for his pole position?
And just like that, my game crashed. Absolute humiliation. So I I'll be back in a few minutes, so don't go away. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for the race. And yeah, and after that issue, we're finally ready. Do excuse me. So Wesley Burkhardt.
Don't dying on me.
I'm not dying on you. I'm not dying on you.
Yes.
Seriously. I'm not dying on you. Seriously. So we'll just wait for everyone to get on the grid, hopefully.
Hopefully no one runs out of fuel.
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the first lap, we might predict that Ernest might do it again. We're not.
I would laugh. I'm not lying.
Yeah, I would laugh as well because he's not my driver anymore.
I think it would just be funny.
Yeah.
And ironic.
So everyone just coming onto the grid any second now. Just waiting for Burkhout. I've been saying him as Burkhoist recently, so I'm going to stop it with Burkhout. Yeah, Burkhout's there. There we go. Just waiting for it. Yep. And now everyone's going to come off on the grid. So I'm going to read the first half while Thomas is going to do the second half. So on pole position is Wesley Burkhout. Second is Ruben van den Hedding. Third is Craig Patterson. Fourth is Matthew Clipp. Fifth is Ernest Lappins, put a star next to it just in case he starts for the pit lane. Sixth is Tom Rogerson. Oh, Pakspor is disqualified. Oh, God.
Ouch.
Ouch, indeed. I don't know if we're going to restart the race, but yeah, I think it's pretty much we're running late, so might as well not restart the race.
He might just be disqualified from the formation lap.
Yeah. So Tom Rogerson is in sixth. Meister is in seventh. Max Shepard eighth. Close at ninth, and Ben Smith 10th. So Thomas, if you'd like to read the rest of the grid.
So in 11th place we have Bas Kessel. In 12th, Mac Reichel. Jake Dinahan 13th. Dionis Farrow in 14th. Jacob Reed in the pits in 15th. Philip Kraus 16th, and Richard Taylor 17th. And Jacob Kraus rounding off the back of the grid in 18th place.
And just like to mention that Blank Sport is disqualified from the race. I think he might be from the formation down, but I'm not too sure. And you have a little bit of difficulty with Farros's name is Dionysus Farros.
Dionysus, okay.
Yeah, there we go. So now everyone just coming onto the back straight now, and after the debacle in Australia, we're just hoping for a better race around here. And it is
hopefully not a 5-car pile up into turn 1. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh. Lost it there.
A little bit of excitement from Ruben van den Hedding as
His eyes will be toasty.
Yep. And the pole sitter is actually coming on to take pole for the first time this season. Here he comes, Wesley Burkhout.
Was anybody pits? Oh, someone's in the pits. Who's that?
Yeah.
I think it's Jacob Reed. Looks like he's standing from the pit lane.
And that's a big oof for him, but it is... oh, God.
Oh, someone's nearly crashed him.
It's Reichel just nearly went off on it. So Burkhout is on the right, Van den Hedding is on the left. Everyone just coming on to the grid now. And yeah, once the red lights, all 5 lights go off, there it will be go. So, first light, second light, third light, fourth, and the fifth. Action here in Bahrain. And this all equal starts at the moment. And Tom Wilson has got an absolutely fantastic drive down going into turn 1. And Burkhout is already just steaming ahead. He's keeping on, just going on there.
The Hoodin's kind of got ping-ponged across the 2 cars there. But Tom Rogerson makes it into amazing start by him.
I don't know. That's Philip Kraus. Philip Kraus is not having the best race of his life at all. And Philip Kraus is, well, finding his title challenge even more worse this year. So at the end of the first sector is Burkhout, Rogerson, Van den Hedding, Lappins, Patterson, Meister, Clipp, Reichel, Shepard, and closer in the top 10. And that is not a good start at all, once again, for Philip Kraus. An absolutely fantastic start for Burkhout, and even more brilliant starts for Tom Rogerson, who got it.
Ernest Lappins in the wall.
Ernest Lappins in the wall. I don't know if I should cry or laugh about it, but though 17th place is for...
Oh, Jacob Kraus has lost it on the exit of turn 10.
And that is not a good one for Kraus. I'm talking about the other Kraus, not that Kraus. I'm talking about the non-champion Kraus. You're confusing me here. So, yeah, at the end of the first... So, yeah, a brilliant start so far for Tom Rogerson. He was 6th, I think. 6th on the grid. 2nd place right now. And he's only just been cashed up by Ruben van der Heding as they come up to the end of the first lap out of 29. I remember... Anyone, and remember, you can actually refuel in this part of the race. So, Burkholt is pulling away from Rogerson in 2nd. Van der Heding is in 3rd. Patterson is in 4th. And he's actually under attack from Van der Heding out on the outside. He's actually going to give the position away. No, not exactly. Wait a minute. Van der Heding's side by side going into turn 2. And Van der Heding's nearly lost it.
There's been contact in the rear. There's been contact in the rear. Someone's around in turn 1. Who's that?
That was
Richard Taylor and looks like Philip Krause.
And Rogerson defending the 2nd position with his life. Defending it with his utter life. Just going into the 4th corner. Just cutting off Van der Heding. And Burkholt just keeping on first as much as he can. And yeah, it's not been a good start at all for Philip Krause. He's actually gone up to 13th. It's actually an improvement. And Van der Heding has lost it once again, but keeping it on track. He's lost major time now on Rogerson, and Van der Heding's chances of getting 2nd place has it all to do once again in this race.
As we have Jake Dennehan trying to overtake by Farrell.
Yeah, he's already overtaken Faros just a couple of corners ago. And we also got Max Shepherd, the former champion, just coming up on Matthew Clip, just going down into the last couple of corners now. Here he goes. He might have a chance here. Max Shepherd, could he overtake Clip here on the southern finish straight? And he's been held up by Reichel. And now going side by side. Here comes Max Shepherd. Can he overtake all 2 of them here? Looks like oh no, this is 3 wide. Just going for the first corner, and they all make contact. But Shepherd comes out all together, and Reichel was the deciding factor between these 3 men. And Shepherd is now leading the pack of those 3. He's now a bit to 6th place.
Punted into Max Shepherd there in turn 1, and I think that was the deciding factor of Max Shepherd getting 6th place.
Yeah, and Ben Smith is actually under attack from Faros, who's now down into 11th. Ben Shepherd has... Sorry, we're talking about Ben Shepherd. Ben Smith has just overtaken Faros for 10th place now, and Faros is now down to 11th. It's not been going good for the Greek so far at all. And Philip Krause, the world champion, is under attack from the former NRWO driver Ernest Lappins, driving for Rolex Tim Sports, the sister team of Gilles. Is going to be the main team for WRL after this season, because as you know, Gilles is putting out to focus on other projects, while connections of Gilles will still be here in the form of Rolex Sim Sport. And Ernest is really going to put Krause under a huge amount of pressure as much as he possibly can, and he's only to come to it. Perhaps yes, he has. Ernest Lappins is now up into 14th place. Krause, the champion, is down into 15th. It's not.
Battle for P4 between Craig Patterson and Ruben van der Hooden.
And Craig Patterson has actually gone down. Or was he? No, Van der Hooden is still 3rd. He's still 3rd from Rogerson. He's still 3rd from Rogerson. It was Patterson who was trying to overtake him, but Patterson is under a huge amount of pressure from Justin Meister going into the lap 4 of the Bahrain Grand Prix, and it's Justin Meister going to try and overtake him for 4th place, going down into turn 8. No, not as slightly much. Meister just nearly lost it then.
That's Max Shepherd.
Max Shepherd is spun. What happened there? Let's have a look. It's going to take a while to get up this now. Oh yeah, he's just spun out to turn 8. Yeah, he lost the back end. This is not going well for him at all. And oh god! He's actually had a collision.
Again.
He actually had a collision with, oh god, that was Patterson, wasn't it? No, it's not Patterson, it was Smith. He collided with Smith trying to rejoin the track, and that has cost him dearly. He's now down into 18th place.
Yeah, it looks like he had to spin into turn 10 as well. I couldn't see any cars around him, so looks like he did that on his own as well. But you have Ernest Lappins trying to overtake Jake Denner. Looks like he's got the move done. And Matthew Clip fighting with Max Reichel.
Oh, I forgot to turn the replay off. I forgot to turn the replay off. Clip is under threats, like you said, from Max Reichel for 6th place. Just going into turn 8 now. Wesley Burkhoit still leading the race. And this should be the window where we can see the first, or possibly the 2-stop strategy. So I don't know if it's going to be 2 stops today. I think it's mainly going to be 1 stop. But I'm not too sure. Because it's going to be either 1 or 2 stops. There's no chance of doing it for 3 stops unless it's really needed.
If I remember correctly, to the 2008 season, the tyres were quite durable, so I can't see why anybody would do a 3-stop. Unless they want to run really aggressive on fuel and double stint tyres.
I think it all comes down to fuel because these tyres, Bridgestone makes, are probably much more stronger than the Pirellis.
Yeah, Matthew Clip under pressure.
And yeah, he's under pressure now. He's been overtaken by Reichel for 6th place, and Matthew Clip hoping to try and get them back to that position as much as possible as he goes up into turn 4. Can he overtake him here? Clip? No, he doesn't. He thinks twice about it. Falls back behind in formation. But Clip, really, he's not trying to overdo himself here. He's trying to go for a reasonable result here today.
Meanwhile, we have Ben Smith and Ernest Lappin. And looks like Jeff Close getting involved as well. We have a 3-wide battle for P9. As Ernest Lappin tries to go around the outside of turn 10. No room there.
Oh god. And looks like it's Close to trying to get back in front of the Lappins. Remember, they're both sister teammates. Let him through. Then he's not going to let him through. Because remember, Jules and Volek is basically both connected, as they're both owned by the same man, Joey Volek. But right now, Jules is superior to Volek because Volek is assistant team to Jules, and the Jules is the main operation. They might as well have
Red Bull and Toro Rosso there then.
Yeah, Red Bull and Toro Rosso. But nevertheless, Lapis has overtaken Ben Smith for 9th place, and looks like Jeff Closer might follow suit, but unless here comes Smith once again, and oh, here he comes!
That was close with Jeff Close.
That was a wild manoeuvre. Oh god! And Jeff Closer just manages to overtake him for 10th, but that was a wild impact of a move by Lappins, as he now goes up into 9th place. Now here comes Closer, and as Lappins just locks up the tyres a little bit. But Closer.
Yeah, Jake Denner, just behind this battle, we have Bas Kessel and Jake Dennerhan fighting. They're fighting while catching up to this group. So we have a 5-way battle for P9 soon.
And
Jake Dennerhan.
Oh god! Jake Dennerhan just went into Bas Kessel, but nonetheless, both men still keep going. None of them has lost time, but Dennerhan is now up into 12th place. Oh, has he? Bas Kessel's backing out into 12th place after he's gone wide at turn 10.
That's the risk you take if you try and take the wider line through turn 9. To maximise turn 10, you can easily lock up and just go straight off circuit.
Yeah, and I think we may have our first man to come into the pits for this race, Jeff Closer from 10th place. And we bet there's Tom Rogerson as well. It was... What's happened to him? Has he got a puncher?
Well, we have multiple people coming into the pits, looks like.
I think he may have a puncher, I'm not too sure.
Tom Rogerson in the pits.
Cause oh God, that's the reason why he's lost his front wing. That is cost Rogerson dearly. We were focusing on other battles, and Rogerson just lost his front wing. That's not going to work out at all for him. And he was doing so well as well. I mean, he won the last race, and he was doing well to keep up in the second. But then, just losing his front wing just kind of cost him dearly. As we now look at Matthew Klipp just overtaking Max Reichel for 5th place.
I think this is going to be a race-long battle there.
Yeah,
these guys have been at it all race.
Craig Patterson now is in 2nd place, just only around 9 seconds behind Burkhout. As we go into lap 9 sometime soon of the Bahrain Grand Prix. We only got about 20 laps left. And it has been properly eventful here, but Rogerson has actually got a drive-through penalty.
And he's down in 17th, so it's not going to help him, really.
Nope, it's not going to help him at all. So what? So was it like? Did he speed in the pits?
Oh, Richard Taylor's off.
Richard Taylor's off, and they need to find out if Rogerson's sped in the pit lane.
Jacob Reed's lost the rear end as well, so there might have been contact there. Jeff Close in the pits as well as Ruben van der Hooding. Looks like a much simpler start for van der Hooding though, compared to Tom Rogerson. It's Matthew Klipp. It's now been re-overtaken by Max Reichel, but they're still side by side for turn 7.
Yeah, this has probably been a eventful affair between Klipp and Reichel at the moment. Matthew Klipp might have the chance here. No, he doesn't. But they've got Ernest Lapid just coming in hot behind them now. Klipp just on the outside again and has got more speed than Reichel perhaps.
He carried a monumental amount of speed through the outside.
And just lost out a little bit. But hopefully not too much.
Tom Rogerson serves his drive-through. And the on-track battle right now is this battle for P4.
And now Tom Rogerson is literally at the back of the field. And, oh God! Tom Rogerson just lost it, just coming out of the pit lane. And it's not going well for Dan Racing at all.
Matthew Klipp on Max Reichel. He's done it.
Fantastic driving from Matthew Klipp. He's now up into 4th position. But that means that due to that battle, Ernest Lapid has caught up. So Ernest could have a little bit of an edge here to it. Only 19 laps to go.
And Ernest on Max Reichel.
Ernest just dive bombs on Reichel.
Ooh, kind of squeezes him on the exit there though. Kind of cuts across his wing. You'll have to be careful. He doesn't want a penalty.
And a Reichel. Oh God!
God!
And that is not looking good at all for the DMPs. But that means it's good news anyway for Farrells because he's now up into 6th place.
I think that's the break Matthew Klipp needs.
Yeah, but he's got another opponent. Like I said, Ernest Lapid is now right there now.
The divey boy.
Yep. And Justin Meister is now in the pits from 3rd place. Patterson has got some breathing space now. But that means that Matthew Klipp is going to take 3rd position and Ernest Lapid is going to take 4th. But no one can actually separate Burkhout from that top spot right now.
Matthew Klipp makes a small mistake into turn 1. That might give Lapins the run into turn 4.
Here comes Lapins then. And just keeps him under position as much as he can.
Oh, cuts over the curb there. That's really gonna hurt him.
And here comes Lapins. Dives bomb him into third.
It was quite a Ricardo move. He was on the outside and decided to switch back at the last minute.
And the clip can't really get forward with him again. Or can he?
A nice slipstream, but decided against it.
Yeah. But now he's probably going to lose some time now.
Staying with him, so...
But nevertheless, Urs Lapins is coming in this lap. So Clip is going to automatically get back into third place as it stands at the moment.
They're both in. Oh no. Meanwhile, I think we should give a quick shout out to the leader. He's kind of had a quiet race. He's currently 11 seconds ahead of Craig Patterson.
Yeah,
just going through a little bit of traffic there.
And spare forward for Jake Dennehan, who's actually just lost his rear wing. And is not looking good at all for the Irishman.
Ooh, getting a bit close with Jacob Kraus there, though.
Yeah, I'm just hoping he gets back to the pits safely like that. He is determined to get it back, and it looks like he's lost a bit of steering as well, so... Yeah.
More like all of it.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
We have Richard Taylor on Mass Castle. Looks like Richard Taylor's got the move done.
So at the end of lap 12 here in Bahrain, or was it lap? Yeah, and at the end of lap 12, it's Bert Coit who's leading the race ahead of Patterson, who's 11 seconds behind. 23 seconds behind him is Clip in third. Fourth is Farros. Fifth is Smith. Sixth is Kraus. Seventh is Meister. Eighth is Van den Hudding. Ninth is Lapins. And 10th is Reichel. This is... It's not really a close race, but it's been an exciting race in prospect. But Dennehan...
Much like...
Oh dear, Farros. Farros said he went off in the pit entry then. As Dennehan just comes in for a new rear wing.
Good to see he's made it. As, Jacob Reed is running on the painted tarmac.
Someone went off at turn 1, I think, or has he? No. Farros is coming out of the pit lane in 10th place, or is he going to be 11th? He's 11th now, just behind Jacob Reed. And nearly dies.
Maldonado 2014 there. If you remember that incident with, I believe it was Esteban Gutierrez and Pastor Maldonado. Not the cleanest two F1 drivers.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. I remember that when Pastor Maldonado was with Lotus and Gutierrez was Sauber. Yeah. Sauber, of course, now known as Alfa Romeo. As we're now into lap 13 out of 29. Let's see what else is close battles is happening on track at the moment. I'm not seeing much.
Closest battle probably for P5. P6? Yeah, P5. Or P6, one or the other. Around that.
Yeah, Philip Klaus, the world champion, is now up into, looks like a point paying position in 5th place for Vulcan. And it's not been going, and it hasn't been going well this weekend for the world champion. But he has managed to get it back up to speed as much as he possibly can. But just Meister and Ruben van Hudding behind him. Remember, van Hudding was third earlier. And of course, nearly losing it at turn 8.
Oh, and that's Richard Taylor kind of having to cut.
And Burkhout is in the pits. Burkhout is coming in for his stop. It's going to be, looks like, yeah, it's going to be a one-stop strategy for Burkhout. But that means Patterson is going to take the lead, but for how long will he take the lead for? Because we're not too sure at all.
Quite a quick stop for Burkhout, so maybe he's been running fuel for the entire race, so someone seems to have gone quite badly off in the pit lane. Who was that?
I think it was Dennehan.
Yeah, Dennehan looks like he's retired.
Is he? Oh yeah, he's out. Dennehan is not. It's not been a good race for him. He had lost his rear wing. He struggled a little bit at the back, but he's done well nevertheless. Dennehan is out. We're now down to 17 races now. 4 of them, of course, are lapped. The former champion Shepherd, Taylor, Rogerson, who was in second, and Jacob Kraus.
Burkhout came out about half a second behind Matthew Clipp, so we might see a small battle. Obviously, much fresher tyres on Burkhout's car compared to Matthew Clipp.
Yeah, and Clipp
is if Clipp is not coming in this lap, nor is Craig Patterson. Ben Smith is though, as Van der Hoodin's lost it. And he's lost the position to
Lappins again. And Van Hudding tried to go for a dive bomb, but doesn't think twice about. But thinks twice about it. But he's still
the dive bomb boy.
Yeah, the dive bomb boy. Here comes Van Hudding once again. Can he get it in? Yes.
He has.
Gives
Lappin's right on his rear.
Gives Lappins a taste of his own medicine as he go down into.
You know, we have a back out as Craig Patterson's in, so this battle's for the net lead.
Yep, Clipp is now leading. And Clip's off, but wait a minute, here comes Van Hudding. He's been overtaken by Ernest perhaps once again, I'm not too sure. But Coit's now leading the race once again. Meister nearly had the advantage of Kraus.
Meister.
And here comes Kraus and Lappins once again. And Lappins just dives one into turn 2 and now is back into 6. But can Van den Hudding get back onto it? Here comes Van den Hudding. Oh, God.
We also have a battle for P4 between Philip Kraus and Justin Meister. Vulcan Racing and DMP Motorsport cars respected.
And Van den Hudding just nearly lost it at turn 8. Meanwhile, Meister hoping to get past the champion Philip Kraus. Does he do so? Yes. Mind you, Philip Kraus is coming to the pit lane, so it's a little bit of a pointless moment for Meister.
At least he can have the glory of overtaking him, even if it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So comes Matthew Clipp for his stop.
Matthew Clipp in for another scheduled pit stop. Here comes Patterson, going to come back into second place, albeit a few seconds more behind Burkhout than he had done before Burkhout actually came in. Meister is now third. Clipp fourth. Kraus is actually coming in fifth. Lappins is now going to be fourth because of that. And where's Van den Hudding? Where is he? Where is he? He's actually fifth.
Looks like that fight didn't disadvantage him too much on getting past Matthew Clipp.
Yeah.
Craig Patterson runs a little bit wide. That might open him up to Justin Meister. Dropped about a second there.
Meister just nearly lost it through turn 10. Here comes Lappins as well. Behind him is Van den Hudding. And who's actually lost it?
Oh, that's a big accident, Van der Hoodie. He's lucky not to hit the barrier.
Yeah. That's been a controversy of accident over the years. Turn 10, but he still managed to keep it on for as much as he can.
Oh, Van der Hooding's lost it again. Keeps it pointing in the right direction though, but he's dropped for the second, so keep an eye out for Matthew Clip here.
Yeah, Matthew Clip is literally just right behind him there. Here comes Clip. Maybe a few. No, he's not going to catch up, surely.
Bit too far back, but gain some time on the brake.
And Rodgson is actually out. So that's another retiree. We're now down to 16 races.
Last week's race winner, obviously not having a very good race at all.
And he qualified so well, and he started so well. He started 6th position on the grid, went up to 2nd, and that didn't work out for him.
I don't know what's happened to Van der Hoodin after his pit stop, but he's really not happy on this set of tyres.
Indeed, it isn't for him. But now into only about 10 laps to go left in this race, and Burkhout is still leading ahead of Patterson, Meister, Lappins, Van den Hudding, Clip, Reichel, Smith, Kraus, and Varos.
Saying that, Philip Kraus having a look on Ben Smith. Has he got the move?
Yeah, just a bit, yeah.
One's wide, Ben Smith.
But not too wide there.
Meanwhile, Matthew Clip has slowly been closing this gap to Van der Hooding. Gap's currently 2 times. Are we going to see an overtake into turn 1? Completely possible. Getting the slipstream. We see him pull out. He goes to the inside line. Van der Hooding breaks a little later, tries to cut across him a bit, keeps the inside line into turn 2. Matthew Clip gets an amazing run around the outside, and that's him passed into P5.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Let's see what else is happening at the moment. Lappin's in 4th position, just behind.
Overtake Max Shepard, the lap car.
Yeah, but looks like Max Shepard is trying to defend his honour by trying to defend the most unhonourable man on the grid to get away into 3rd place, hopefully.
In the background, you saw Matthew Clip going all kinds of out of shape on the car when he gets to the turn. Saying that, he still found the second to Van der Hooding in 2 sectors. Van der Hooding really not happy on his tyres.
Indeed, he isn't. And Van der Hudding losing the car again. It's
on board with someone a lap down there. Richard Taylor, and we just saw him absolutely like a dog wagging his tail. He was wagging his rear end about. He's in the pits. Obviously not happy. As we see Max Shepard unlapping himself on Justin Meister there. As Max Shepard's finally found this turn of speed he was showing in practice. Ruben van der Hooding rejoining the track in P11, just behind Vasquez. Wow, a second behind, so keep an eye on that gap. Saying that, he's just gained half a second in 2 corners, so I don't think he's going to be behind Basquessel for much longer. Okay, it's now a second. Ooh, as Basquessel locks up, that's going to give Ruben van der Hooding. Here we go. Brutal acceleration for Ruben van der Hooding.
Meanwhile, Meister is going to be overtaken by Lapid, who actually has disposed of Shepard, or actually Shepard is actually ahead of him. And Lapid is now up into 3rd place.
Great move by Ernest Lapins there, kept it clean somehow. Not much else happening on the grid so far. They're all a bit spread out.
There doesn't seem to be much else happening, as we can see.
Well, Ernest Lapin makes a mistake though, which gives Justin Meister a couple tenths back. Walks up again into turn 10, but still hits the apex and gets a good run.
And now let's see what else is happening. Nothing else seems to be happening at this moment in time.
Battle for P7. Ben Smith and Max Reichel. Max Reichel with a massive lock-up. Ben Smith running over the car, that's going to stabilize the car, so he couldn't get the power down as early as he wanted. Saying that, it looks like Ben Smith has a lot more pace. Ooh, Max Reichel running over the curbs again. It's not going to do his floor any good.
So we're only about 8 or 7 laps to go now, and Burkridge still leading this race with an iron fist. Patterson in second, but Lapid is really closing up on him.
A battle for P7. Ben Smith trying to overtake. Who has the best top line speed? Looks like it's Ben Smith. Oh, but Max Reichel brakes really late. Puts his car in the right places and keeps the position. But are we going to see Ben Smith getting a better run here into turn 4? He's going to go for it.
But
he decides to.
Yeah, but more importantly, can Patterson keep on to that second place, because Lapid is pushing as heavily as he can. Talk about unloyalty. If he couldn't do that for in RWO, why is he doing it right now?
Just on an update from Max Reichel, there was contact there, and Max Reichel is spun. He's now having to defend from Faros for P8.
And now Shepard is actually going to overtake, going to lap himself from Patterson. Now that's a little bit of a twisting move there, because surely Patterson needs to be defending his position right now, and right now it is not going to plan at all. It's like, Shepard, what the hell? Are you actually serious? I mean, he's trying to defend the position from Lapins, and it's not going to plan. It's not going to plan.
Say that he is allowed to unlap himself if he's faster, though.
Yeah, he is allowed to unlap himself, but in the circumstances, I just wanted Lapins to actually just be a little bit lower down. But it's just, I don't know what I need to say about this.
Currently 3.4 seconds to Ernest Lapin, sorry, my bad.
You could call him Eric. You can call him Eric.
Oh, I'll call him Ernest. It's his actual name.
Yes, I know it's his actual name, but after the last week, I'm not too sure, to be honest. But anyway,
Patterson seems to be picking up the pace now, though, so it's maintaining the gap. Either Ernest's backed off, either like overcooked his tyres and needs to have a couple cool down laps before he goes again, or Craig Patterson's picked up the pace.
I'm not too sure about that. We'll have to wait and see. We're only about 5 laps to go left of this race as it goes over now. Although it's only about 4 seconds in between them, so Ernest could overtake him.
Oh, Bascassel's had a bit accident.
Bascassel that is not going well for him, but more importantly, Ernest Lappin has actually lost a little bit of time just going through the first corner there. So the gap has increased a little bit, but not too much. Ernest can still overtake him on the last lap at least. So unless Ernest makes a huge mistake, because the Lappin is going into second place, we need Patterson to actually continue on with his strength by strength performance in second place. But right now, I don't think it's going to happen. We've actually got a yellow flag in this sector, and that's why. Who is it? Just coming forward now. It's
Ooh,
yeah, Jacob Krause.
Dangerously with Matthew Cook there.
Yeah. And that does mean that the time has actually cost a little bit people behind P3 or actually behind P2 also slow it a little bit. So that basically means that Patterson could hold on to that second place towards the end, but don't be so sure yet. Don't be so sure. But quite doesn't need to continue on pushing on a little bit more now, because he's that far ahead is embarrassing for everyone else. On the
5 laps to go.
Yeah, 5 laps to go. Losing a little bit going through turn 10, but not too much. Just a reminder that there has been 19 retirements, if I'm not very much. No, it's just 18 people in. Only 2 retirements. 16 people left remaining.
Yeah, Ruben van der Hooding on Ben Smith.
Going forward for hopefully for P7. Yes, he's got it. Ben Smith has just lost.
Beautiful switchback.
Yeah, but Ben Smith has actually lost it a little bit. Lost a little bit of acceleration just going through turn 11, and Ruben van der Hooding is back into 7th. But meantime, I think Lappins has lost a little bit more time just going for those last couple of corners. So Patterson could hold on to that second place. But like I said, we're not too sure. Patterson needs to keep it on the road now for these last few laps.
Speaking of keep it on the road, Jeff Close losing on the exit of turn 10 very nearly hit the barrier.
But he's keeping it on the track, that's the main thing about it. So we're now going into the last couple of laps now in this race. Burkhout is leading by 29, nearly 30 seconds ahead of Patterson. The largest margin that we had so far this season. Patterson is...
And he's picked up the pace. Down 6 tenths in the second sector.
But still, unless Patterson makes a huge mistake, then Patterson's got second. But then again, Patterson has got someone behind him a little bit. Who is it behind him? It's one of the drillers. I think that is Van den Hedding.
Jeff Close.
Jeff Closer. So hopefully Jeff Closer will be the man to hopefully deny Lapid's going into second place. We're not too sure yet. We're only 2 laps to go. But meanwhile, we've got a close battle between P4 between Matthew Clip and Justin Meister. Here comes Justin on the outside, perhaps. And
Clip put the car exactly where it needs to be. Means that Justin Meister's had to lift off a little bit, and he's probably through until about turning. Will Meister go for the move? No, he decides against it. He's going to hold off probably until turn 11.
Here he comes. No, it doesn't make it at all then. But meanwhile, Burkholt is now on his last lap. And what a race it has been for him. He has been largely quiet throughout most of it.
No,
but
there's 2 laps to go.
Oh.
Yeah, it's at 28.
Okay. So Patterson is now still second, but Lapid is only 3 seconds behind him. Well, just under 4 seconds behind him, but nevertheless, Patterson is now looking on good form to keep it into second place.
Sorry to burst your bubble a bit there.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Philip Kraus is starting to catch up to this battle for P4, so we might have a 3-way battle on the final laps.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get first of the losers and then on podium?
Not Philip Kraus, because he just lost a little bit going for the first corner, unless he could actually pull off
He's still there.
Yeah, he could actually pull off an absolute madness in the last couple of laps here against Justin Meister, at least. But Matthew Clip may be a little bit out of the question right now. As Wesley Burkholt is now onto the back straight. Patterson hoping to keep on to second position with all his might now, as Burkholt goes to complete his hopes to begin his last lap here in.
Oh, Meister's lost it. Philip Kraus is through.
Yeah, Philip Kraus is through, and now Burkholt is on his last lap here in Bahrain. It's been an absolute quiet race for Burkholt, but
round. There was contact on the exit of turn 11.
Okay, now Burkholt hoping to continue on with his quiet race. Oh god, I forgot what I'm saying now. Yeah. So yeah, Burkholt had a quiet. Yeah, I got back now. Burkholt had a quiet race, and yeah, throughout most of it, and it's going to be an absolutely fantastic victory for him. He was destined to be a little bit of a victor back out in Australia, but that didn't happen. But now he can finally have his moment in the limelight. He goes around turn 11, goes uphill before going into a little dip before the penultimate last couple of corners, and it's been absolutely outstanding this race weekend as Wesley Burkholt. Because recent racing, I don't know when the last time they've won here in Formula Waga, will now be able to do it once again, or maybe for the first time. I'm not too sure, because Wesley Burkholt wins here in Bahrain with an iron fist. Absolutely brilliant from Wesley Burkholt. Absolutely fantastic for the Jacob Reed operation as well. Meanwhile, Craig Patterson is going to come home in second place. He's only just about a couple of corners away now. And Ernest Lappins is going to come home in third. We just need to wait to see if Patterson can come across the line. Here he comes. Patterson claims second place. A dominant performance from him. And Ernest Lappins, the unloyal man.
That was a bit close.
That was a little bit close. And oh god!
Big accident.
And yeah.
That? Oh, that's a big accident.
Yeah, and in typical fashion like that, I don't know if it's a little bit of a disconnection for him, but
I can't see any cars at all.
I can't either. But anyway,
well.
Verstappen comes home in third. So that means that let's have a look at the greatest events. So Burkhoit wins here, Bahrain. Second place is Patterson. Third is Lappins. Fourth is Clip. Meister is fifth. Vadenhunig sixth. Smith seventh. Reed eighth. Reiko ninth, and Philip Kraus actually was gone for this race.
Hold Philip Kraus to P10 because he did DNF.
Yeah, he DNF'd. But oh wait a minute, Farros actually takes second place. We're not too sure, but yeah, again we're not too sure. But though that was an eventful race. So what are your thoughts on it, Thomas?
Dominating performance by Bach. Few little incidents, not the cleanest race I've seen. Few little incidents, few dive bombs that have gone a bit wrong, and it's kind of sent one of them spinning, because these cars, they're very, very easy to pendulum round, as seen. They've been very loose on the rear, so small contact, much like Ferrari in 2018, a small contact on the rear or the front, and it can send these cars penduluming.
Indeed. So that looks to be it here in Bahrain, which is easy to find out when the next race is. Okay, there we go. The next race is going to be in Barcelona in a week's time, and I was actually the only race last year that at the beginning of the season that we didn't really properly cover, but we're hoping to be covering it this time round. Same time around 6 o'clock GMT, and yeah, just join us for that. Meanwhile, it's a goodbye from Thomas.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me, Ron Squire. Thank you very much for watching this. Yeah, and yes, once again, goodbye.